I'm inside and I saw the Twilight Zone Season 4, Episode 6, Death Ship. It is directed by Don Medford, written by Richard Matheson. If you haven't seen this episode, I will spoil it for you. Time and temperature check. It is 4 p.m., 80 degrees, 60% humidity. On with the review. This episode follows these three guys. The year is 97. We got these people from Earth. They go to this planet, and on this planet, there's this little sparkle as they have a gander upon the planet. They're just having a gander. And then you got this guy who's like, yo, we should go down there. We also got the captain man. He's like, yeah, we should go down there. And then the person who found the sparkle, he's like, There is one concerning voice and two non-concerning voices. So, of course, we go down there, and guess what? They find this crash ship. They go to the crash ship, and they discover that it's them. It's them. There's three people, and they all have their faces. So, of course, they have a bit of an argument. There seems to be a lot of bullet holes within this crash ship. Or at least one guy has a bullet hole, and then one guy has like a little graze upon his side. And then be like, wow, that's spooky. They're trying to do some theories. One theory is that this is some sort of time continuum loop thing. I don't know time that much, but they do be theorizing. And then we got two people except for the captain. The captain doesn't go to this weird, like, where I'm going home and I'm discovering that our spouses have discovered that we're dead because of some reason, stuff like that. And they're like, what? We're home. One of the guys was just literally standing there and he's just home. But he was there the entire time. The captain's like, yo, what's up with you? And then the other person who was laying down, he was actually home. And he saw his spouse, he was having a good time, he saw his daughter, and then the captain pulls him out, they have a bit of a fight, and then guess what? They're back in the ship, and this part was very weird. Why? This part of the episode was just so that these characters have some reason to go home, and they're just suddenly transported home. I don't feel there's a clear reason as to why they go home. Only two of them, and then the captain doesn't. The captain's theory is that there's this alien. These aliens living here, they don't want the humans going over and talking to them or invading or whatever. So they have a form of mind control. And so these aliens are doing some mind control. And this is an alright explanation. I just think that I felt like it should have been a little bit more incorporated within the episode. It felt like, oh, well, now they're home, that now they're not home. Why is that? Oh, aliens. Okay. I felt like this explanation was just kind of whatever. But I do like the character development of this episode. We have three characters, and I like how the world feels very lived in. These three characters are bickering with each other like it's just another day with them hanging out, and I'm an audience member observing one of their days, one of the things that happened within their life. Versus I feel like other TV shows, other movies, whatever, anything that isn't the Twilight Zone, I feel like all the characters were placed there that day and they're just now learning each other for the first time. Except for if it calls for it, if it's like well established that the characters don't know each other. But in this instance, they do know each other, and I like how they are well characterized. Richard Matheson, he's very good at the character stuff. When it comes to the happenings, I feel like he's mostly motivated by exploring the characters versus the happenings making any logical sense. But of course, this is the Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone is a great vehicle for all weird things happen, stuff that doesn't necessarily logically make sense, but it can happen underneath the Twilight Zone. You got weird situations occurring. Ultimately, I like this story, mostly for the characterization. Doesn't necessarily logically make sense, except for we got the guy who was dragged away from his love. He got a gun. I'm like, oh man, are they gonna have a bit of a shooty shoot? And it's gonna be like the crash scene? Well, they decide to not shoot each other. They decide to instead leave the atmosphere, and I love all the goofy faces while they're doing the leaving of the atmosphere. They're going, like weird faces. It's great. Also weird chairs. Those weird styrofoam chairs, man. They got like their imprints that they can just lay in, and then they're one with the chair. It's such a weird design. But I love the emphasis on this chair design because when they go to the crashed ship, you see, you got the chair that they have. And it's like, oh, is it them? And it's one of them. It is quite literally them. So anyway, they leave the atmosphere. And the captain, he's like, well, we left. It's time to go back down. I'm like, why? Do you really want to make contact with these aliens that much? I felt like it was a little sudden. It wasn't built up for him to be doing this throughout the episode. You got the one mention at the beginning of the episode, but ultimately it should have been repeated that he's really interested in contacting the aliens, because it feels out of left field. I feel like it could have been more set up well, gooder. I don't know. This episode, the idea is good. I feel like the execution, it's a little lacking. It would be a really good Twilight Zone episode if it was 30 minutes, but as a 50-something minute episode, it's all right. It's a good one, but ultimately they end up going back down to the surface. They're like, oh, the crash ship's not here. See, it was an illusion. See, I'm right, says the captain. His ego definitely has kicked in. And so they go down, and guess what? They find the crash ship, and they're about to have a bit of a fight, but they decide to leave because they're like, okay, so the aliens. The end is kind of confusing. Like, they decide to go back down because of the captain's ego. He's like, well, we're gonna go conquer these aliens. And the other one's like, no, can we like not please? But ultimately they decide to leave, and then that's how they got into the Twilight Zone, and now they're escaping the Twilight Zone. That's the end of the episode. This is such a strange episode. Great characterization. Interesting plot. Interesting stuff that actually happens. Like, quite literally what happened is that they go to this alien planet, they discover this crash ship. They go to the crash ship, they discover it's them, they have a bit of an argument. Two of the men go home, quite literally. Like, one of them doesn't go home literally, just in his like daymare. It's like a nightmare, but it's during the day. It's when he figured out that his wife had found out that he was dead, and so he's freaking out, and then his captain pulls him out. But then you got the guy who actually physically got transported home, so like, what's the difference between the two? I just wish it was set up a little bit better. Ultimately, though, I like this episode, the idea, it's execution, but if you want to complete the Twilight Zone, I think you should check this out. Good characterization, ultimately. And so I have to give this episode, it's a 6.7 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one. The platform really likes it. If I haven't reviewed it on the channel, there's a chance I haven't seen it at all. That's why you gotta get the Patreon request and at patreon.com/ASEPresents. 20 Ardinos for one movie review per 1 month. Support the daily grind in this by going to this link tree. It really helps with the daily grind of all them daily reviews. They can go here, it keeps them going. And until next time, I'm Mint Salad. I'll see you later, my sac croutons, bacon bits. Goodbye.